Ladies and gentlemen, today I will talk about what's the real reason behind your thoughts. You are not alone in your mind. Imagine waking up one day and realizing that the voice inside your head isn't really you, that constant stream of thoughts, doubts, and fears. It feels like your identity, but is it really? Have you ever stopped and wondered, who is actually thinking these thoughts? Most people go through life without ever questioning this. They believe they are their thoughts. When anxiety whispers, "You're not good enough," they accept it. When fear says, "You'll never succeed," they believe it. But what if I told you those thoughts are not yours? From the moment we are born, we are conditioned. Society, media, family, past experiences, everything programs our mind, shaping the way we think and react. If you grew up hearing money is hard to make, you think financial struggle is your destiny. If you're told you're not smart enough, you carry that belief into every opportunity. But these thoughts are not coming from your true self. They are echoes of the world around you. Pause for a moment. Close your eyes and listen to that inner voice. Who is speaking? And more importantly, who is listening? The truth is, you are not your thoughts. There is a deeper, infinite awareness within you. One that is not afraid, not insecure, not burdened by the past. But most people never connect with it because they are trapped in the noise of their own mind. Think about a time when you doubted yourself. Maybe you wanted to start a business, chase a dream, or change your life. But fear crept in, whispering, "What if I fail?" Where did that fear come from? It didn't come from your soul, it came from years of conditioning, from society's expectations, from other people's fears projected onto you. Look at some of the greatest minds in history. Einstein, Tesla, Steve Jobs. What made them different? They questioned their own thoughts. They didn't let doubt define them. They broke free from the mental prison that holds so many back. And you can too. The first step is awareness. When a thought arises, don't fight it. Observe it. Recognize that it's just a thought, not reality. The moment you realize you are not your thoughts, you take back your power. Fear loses control over you, anxiety weakens, self-doubt fades, because you understand that these are just mental patterns, not truths. The second step is to reprogram your mind. You are not alone in your mind. There is a deeper intelligence within you, a wisdom beyond logic. It's the same force that beats your heart, grows the trees, moves the oceans. When you connect to this deeper awareness, your thoughts shift. Instead of "I can't," you start to think, "What if I can?" Instead of "I'm not enough," you hear, "I have unlimited potential." And finally, take action despite the thoughts. Courage is not the absence of fear, it's moving forward even when fear exists. The people who change the world, the ones who live with purpose, aren't free of doubt, they just don't let their thoughts control them. So, the next time a negative thought enters your mind, step back, watch it. Recognize it for what it is, just a passing cloud in the sky of your consciousness. You are not your mind. You are the awareness beyond it. And once you embrace this truth, you become unstoppable. You are not your thoughts. The voice in your head is not your true self. It is a product of conditioning, fears, and external influences. Your mind is programmed by society. From childhood, beliefs about success, failure, and self-worth are ingrained in you, shaping your thought patterns. You are the observer, not the thinker. There is a deeper awareness within you that watches your thoughts, proving that you are separate from them. Fear and doubt are learned, not real. Negative thoughts like I'm not good enough or I will fail come from conditioning, not from truth. Awareness is the first step to freedom. By simply observing your thoughts without attachment, you begin to take back control over your mind. Reprogram your mind with empowering thoughts. Shift from limiting beliefs to powerful affirmations by consciously choosing thoughts that serve you. Take action despite fear. True strength comes from acting even when fear and doubt exist, just like successful visionaries do. You are not your thoughts. There is a voice in your head. It speaks all day, every day. It comments, judges, worries, analyzes. Sometimes it whispers, sometimes it shouts. But here's a question. If you are the one hearing this voice, then who are you? Most people never stop to ask this. They assume they are their thoughts. If the mind says, I am not good enough, they believe it. If it says, I always fail, they accept it as truth. But just because a thought appears in your mind does not mean it is real. Thoughts are not who you are. They are simply mental noise, passing like clouds in the sky. You are the sky, vast, open, untouched by the passing clouds. Consider this. Have you ever had a moment when your mind was completely silent? Maybe it happened while watching a sunset, holding a loved one's hand, or in deep meditation. In that moment you felt peace, a stillness beyond thought. That is your true nature. That is who you are. Your thoughts, on the other hand, are nothing more than echoes of past conditioning. From childhood, you have been programmed by society, media, and people around you. If you were told you must work hard to deserve happiness, you carry that belief. If you were made to feel unworthy, your mind repeats it back to you as if it were the truth. But these are just inherited patterns, not reality. Imagine walking into a dark room and mistaking a rope for a snake. Your heart pounds, fear rushes in, your body reacts, as if the danger is real. But the moment you turn on the light, the illusion disappears. This is what happens when you become aware of your thoughts. The light of awareness shows you that many of the things you fear, self-doubt, insecurity, failure, are just mental illusions. So, how do you break free? First, become aware of your thoughts. The next time a negative thought arises, don't fight it, simply observe it, notice it without judgment, as if you were watching a passing cloud. In that moment of observation, you step out of identification with the thought. You realize, I am not this thought. I am the one who sees it. This realization is powerful. It means that no matter how loud the voice in your head becomes, it does not define you. You are the presence behind it. When you no longer believe every thought that arises, you regain your freedom. Fear loses its grip. Anxiety weakens. Self-doubt fades, because you are no longer trapped in the prison of your mind. Your thoughts will continue to come and go. That is the nature of the mind. But now you no longer have to be controlled by them. You can watch them with curiosity, with detachment, with peace. And in that space of awareness, a new power arises, the power to choose your own path, free from the illusions of the mind. Your mind is programmed by society. From the moment you are born, your mind begins to absorb everything around it. The words spoken to you, the emotions you feel, the rules you are taught, all of it forms the foundation of your thinking. Without realizing it, you inherit the beliefs of your parents, teachers, culture, and the world around you. You are told what is right and wrong, what success looks like, how to behave, and even what to fear. And so, layer by layer, a mental framework is built within you, a framework that shapes the way you see yourself and the world. But here is the great illusion. You did not choose most of these thoughts. They were given to you. And yet for years, perhaps for an entire lifetime, people live as if these conditioned beliefs are their own. They wake up, go to work, worry about money, chase success, fear failure, compare themselves to others, all without ever questioning, are these my own thoughts, or was I programmed to think this way? Consider this: a child is born without fear of speaking up, without worry about money, without doubts about self-worth. But as they grow, they hear messages like, be careful, don't take risks. Money doesn't grow on trees. You're not smart enough to do that. These words become imprints in the subconscious mind. By adulthood, these imprints have turned into an internal dialogue, an unexamined voice that controls decisions, actions, and emotions. If you were raised in an environment where failure was seen as shameful, you will avoid taking risks. If you were told that you must constantly prove yourself to be worthy, you will spend your life chasing success, never feeling enough. If you grew up in a household where struggle was the norm, your mind will unconsciously create struggle, even when opportunities are present. This is why so many people feel stuck. They are trapped, not by reality, but by an invisible prison of thought patterns that were never truly theirs. But here is the truth. You are not your programming. You are not the conditioned beliefs given to you by the world. There is something deeper within you, something untouched by society's influence. The first step to awakening is awareness. Begin to notice the thoughts that arise in your mind. Ask yourself, where did this belief come from? Who taught me to think this way? Is this thought helping me or limiting me? The moment you start questioning, you begin breaking free. The second step is conscious choice. Once you recognize that many of your thoughts were never truly yours, you gain the power to let them go. You no longer have to carry the weight of society's expectations. You no longer have to live according to someone else's script. Freedom is not about changing your external circumstances. It begins in the mind. When you step beyond the conditioning, beyond the inherited fears, beyond the illusions, you return to your true self, a self that is not afraid, not limited, not defined by the past, a self that is infinitely free. You are the observer, not the thinker. There is a presence within you that is deeper than your thoughts, a stillness, a quiet awareness always there, watching, observing, witnessing. Yet, for most people, this presence is unnoticed because they are lost in their thoughts, believing every story the mind tells. But the truth is, you are not the voice in your head. You are the one who hears it. Imagine sitting in a room with the radio playing in the background. The music changes, commercials come and go, voices speak, then fade. But you are not the radio, you are the one listening. Your thoughts work the same way. They come and go, some loud, some soft, some pleasant, some filled with fear. But if you can hear your thoughts, then clearly you are something separate from them. This realization is the beginning of freedom. When you understand that you are not the thinker, but the observer of thought, a space opens up inside you. You start to notice how often your mind pulls you into worry, regret, and fear. You see how it replays past mistakes or creates imaginary futures filled with problems that don't even exist yet. But instead of being trapped in this mental noise, you begin to watch it from a distance. And in that moment, you are no longer a prisoner of your mind. Think about a time when your thoughts made you anxious. Maybe you were about to speak in public, start a new job, or take a risk. Your mind said, "What if I fail? What if I embarrass myself?" But did you choose these thoughts? Did you sit down and decide to feel afraid? No, the thoughts simply appeared, like clouds drifting through the sky. The problem is most people don't see them as passing clouds. They identify with them, believe them, and let them dictate their actions. But here's the truth. Just because a thought arises doesn't mean it's real. Thoughts are just mental activity, patterns of the conditioned mind. They are not you. The moment you see this, you stop reacting automatically. Instead of getting lost in every fearful or self-critical thought, you become the observer. And when you observe without attachment, thoughts begin to lose their power over you. This is why meditation, mindfulness, and presence are so powerful. They help you step back from the mind and reconnect with your true self, the silent awareness behind the thinking. When you sit in stillness and simply watch your thoughts without reacting, you begin to feel something deeper, peace. Not because the thoughts stop, but because you no longer identify with them. And this changes everything. Fear may arise, but you no longer believe it. Doubt may appear, but it does not define you. Negative thoughts may come, but they pass through like a breeze, leaving no trace. You are no longer controlled by the endless chatter of the mind. You are free. So the next time your thoughts try to pull you into stress, step back, watch them, but do not engage. Feel the space between you and your mind, and in that space you will discover something profound, the unshakable, limitless presence of who you truly are. Fear and doubt are learned, not real. Have you ever wondered where fear comes from? Why is it that some people seem confident and fearless, while others are consumed by doubt and hesitation? Is fear something we are born with, or is it something we are taught? A newborn baby does not fear failure. A child learning to walk does not sit down after falling once and think, "Maybe I'm just not good at this." They get up again and again without questioning themselves. Fear and doubt are not natural, they are learned. They come from the stories we are told, the experiences we have, and the voices of others that take root in our minds. Think back to your childhood. How many times did someone say, "Be careful, don't take risks, don't dream too big, that's not realistic"? Over time, these words become the foundation of your thinking, the mind absorbs them, and without realizing it, you start to believe them. You begin to see the world through the lens of limitation, mistaking these learned fears for reality. But here's the truth: fear is not real. It is a projection of the mind. It exists only as a thought, a possibility, an illusion. Yet, for most people, it feels completely real because they have never questioned it. They simply accept, "I am not good enough, I might fail, I can't do this." But where did these thoughts come from? Were you born with them, or were they given to you? Consider a time in your life when fear stopped you. Maybe it was fear of speaking up, fear of trying something new, or fear of stepping outside your comfort zone. The fear felt real, but what happened when you pushed through it? Often you realize that the fear was just a mental creation. The worst case scenario you imagined never happened, and even if things didn't go perfectly, you survived. The fear had no real power, only the power you gave it. Doubt works the same way. The only reason you doubt yourself is that at some point, someone or something made you feel that you were not enough. But was that true, or was it just someone else's opinion, someone else's fear projected onto you? The moment you begin to see that fear and doubt are learned, you reclaim your power. You no longer react blindly to the thoughts that arise in your mind. Instead, you pause, you observe, you ask yourself, is this thought true, or is it just conditioning? And in that space of awareness, fear begins to lose its